Conscious collaboration brings together entrepreneurs, changemakers, and thought leaders. We aim to highlight the people that embody the idea of aligned mind, body, and business. Each week, we share, discuss, and learn from the various experiences and ideas of our guest experts. Through our discovery, we find a path to an aligned mind, body, and business.
What's up, collective? This is Emily.
And I'm Lisa, and we are the Conscious Collaboration. Hey, Emily.
Yes, we is. Hey.
How do you feel now that we're no longer in Gemini season?
I'm always in Gemini season.
Oh, what? We're not in Gemini season?
It's Cancer time. I'm hiding under the table. I'm going to have emotions for the next month.
I don't believe it. Not for a second.
No, it's cool. I'm good. I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, good. But I was just saying that I kind of wish it was Gemini season because I feel like the theme of the week has been really twins, doppelgangers, lookalikes, and it's come up more than 3 times in different situations with clients, with that photographer who's been marketed around on social media. I Googled it while you stepped away. So it was 1968, and he was able to put together, it's this Canadian photographer, Francois Brunel, spent 12 years tracking down real-life doppelgangers, two individuals who are not related but could pass for identical twins. And if you haven't seen the photography, and I know you said you saw it, Emily.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Like the kids and I have been fascinated looking at the pictures. It's really cute. Like I love how they look like they really adore each other. The people in the photographs, how they're posed, they look like family or brothers and sisters.
I want to say too, and I don't know if it was connected with the same photographer or if this was a separate thing, but I want to say too, there's been an element of they discovered similar biological or genetic elements among the people too, or something.
Yeah, their behaviors are also really similar. They get tattoos in the same body parts. They're the things that you would think are so unique about them are apparent in the other. So as we talk
quantum
about
shit.
It is. But as we talk about all the time in life and in business in particular, and especially in the spiritual communities, and it's come over into marketing, which I think is kind of cool, but and also annoying because everybody says authentic. Like if you can be your true authentic self, then in your business you'll be more successful and more relatable and so on and so forth. But here we are being our true authentic self, and there's our doppelganger everywhere. And so I've had this conversation not once, not twice, but 3 times in the past 7 days with people that feel like, in particular in business, they're seeing words that they've crafted, their content, their lifestyle, where it feels very personal. And when you're a business owner, a lot of times your branding is very much often your lifestyle. So which it sounds, it's not a healthy place to be sometimes. But then to see that repeated in somebody else, then that person feels, are they ripping off my method or, so it's quite an interesting topic, I think. And it's no accident. So I thought we could talk about it today. Are these doppelgangers or are these repetitions? Are they bad? Are they good?
I'm smiling and kind of laughing already because right before we recorded, I brought up the movie Coming to America.
Yeah.
Like the McDowells.
Yeah.
McDowells and McDonald's. And I think that's a pretty hilarious illustration of this idea and a more a pretty blatant example of it, like a pretty extreme example of it. But I don't know. I have maybe Um, I don't know if it comes off harsh or what, but my genuine viewpoint on this is that if it's really a matter of perspective. Okay. First of all, nothing is truly original, right? Um
Well, just ask
n-
anybody in fashion. Isn't like the fashion mantra if
right.
it's not
I mean,
yeah.
everything's we're saying movies, like everything is recycled, repurposed to some degree.
Mhm.
So there's that. And I think also when you get, okay, maybe you can acknowledge, right, that something looks similar, feels similar. Hey, I wrote something like that, what have you. But also, I think to linger on it and to focus on it, and certainly to allow it to sort of really start taking up your energy and making you upset, and definitely if you take it to the level of like making changes to your own practice based on this, um I think it is really more of like a scarcity mindset kind of thing. Like
Mhm.
you feel threatened, uh
Yeah.
essentially, wherein even if this person was like completely just looking at your shit and copying it word for word, like if you are continuing, first of all, if that's what they're doing, then that is inauthentic, right?
Mhm.
And who are you to say, like, sometimes you can, there are certain situations like, you know where these things are more obvious, the
Mhm.
McDonald's thing, but
Yeah.
um y- y- you know even if this person were deliberately just like taking and copying your shit, that would make them inauthentic. So the truth always prevails. if
Mhm.
if and if that person or entity is being inauthentic in their presentation, then that's going to show. And any, client that they may get, if they are truly practicing in an inauthentic way, is not going to be your people anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that that's kind of how I feel about it, is like, all right, we can acknowledge the stuff, and certainly on the more extreme end of it, like, to get your legal protections in order for uh intellectual property and things of that nature, in situations where that applies. But if it's just kind of like, hey, this person's like biting my style, I
Right.
mean, we really can't afford as entrepreneurs to get caught up in that.
Yeah.
And we could take it as a compliment, as a good thing,
Yeah.
because that means that we're doing something worth imitating, if
Mhm.
that's in fact what's going on. Or it could also be, that we're projecting some sort of insecurity onto that situation. So I think we always kind of come back to the self-awareness aspect of things, but I think you just gotta, if you find yourself getting upset over it, you just gotta pause and say, okay, what am I really like concerned about here? Am I concerned that this person is going to take my potential
Right.
clients?
Right.
Am I just upset that they're like, copying me and not giving me credit? Like, what is it? Is it something about me? It's kind of like the trigger thing. Like, if you're triggered, the first place you actually have to look is not at the person who triggers you, but at why does this bother me so much?
Right. And it's so hard to tell now when you're inundated with so much information where the original thought comes from.
Mhm.
It, yes, everybody's taking the certifications and the courses, but yet we're having these conversations and we're listening to podcasts and we're receiving messages over social media, by some credible and some not so credible sources. Very few people are going back and doing the research to see, like, is there anything that backs up what you're receiving? So if that becomes part of your dialogue or your mantras or part of your programs, that will I think, dissipate over time or not stick over time or perhaps become real over time because you're repeating it. I
Right.
don't
The
think it
truth always,
yeah,
always makes itself apparent.
works
And if they're
itself
getting
out.
clients who aren't doing their research, then that's not a long-term solution to anything. And those aren't the clients
Mhm.
you want.
Right, and for the person that's doing, the mimicry or the copying, it's gonna be really hard to maintain, they may
If it's
evolve into
not
something else.
authentic, right, it's not sustainable
Yeah,
ultimately.
just jump from one person to another to mimic. But yeah, to your point, I think to reframe that and just to realize that, well, if that is the case, then you're visible to more people.
Mhm.
There's going to be people that are admiring that and they want to actually implement some of what you're saying so much that they believe it becomes part of themselves. So I think both of us and our realm of work, we have people that we admire and look up to and respect. And I think also we do a good job of bringing them into conversation or citing where we're giving that recognition or citing where we receive things. And it's getting harder and harder with AI too. So I think just to be going back to the word authentic that gets thrown around so much. And who was the first person that started championing authenticity? Because that really went that really went bonkers. Um,
I mean, I don't know.
I don't even know.
It's it's kind of annoying because when a when a foundational concept like authenticity
Becomes
becomes
a
quote
buzzword and it
unquote
gets annoying.
trendy,
Yeah.
then yeah, it is just annoying. And then that's when you've got people doing ridiculous shit on the internet in the name of authenticity, which actually turns out to be, you
Right.
know what I mean, like the
Yeah.
least authentic thing.
Right.
Oh, look at me having a mental breakdown on the internet, and this happens to be the perfect time to turn on my phone and record,
Yeah.
or what, in the name of being authentic or whatever. So I mean, being authentic just means to, like, literally do your thing and don't fucking worry about what everybody else is doing. I mean, would it, like how many personal trainers who also incorporate yoga do you think there are? A lot.
A lot.
A
Yeah.
ton. A ton. Um, but knowing that the entire world needs, you know, strength training and a little bit of yoga, like, my choice and what I think would do a much better job anyway of presenting myself as an authority on in this space would be to embrace that there are others talking about the same things,
Yeah.
collaborate with them, conscious
Hello.
collaboration, and if our end game is to share this information with as many people as possible, then
Mhm.
great. Like, the
Yeah.
more
That's good.
people who are talking about similar things, that's still, that you could take 100 different people talking about strength training and yoga and still get 100 different viewpoints and valuable insights.
Yeah.
And you'll probably get more attention and more clientele at the end of the day
Mhm.
if you're participating in it collaboratively as opposed to, like, losing your mind because you think somebody's copying you.
Right. It's like I'm another buzzword I hear is gatekeeping.
Mhm,
um,
mhm.
but it's not only is it flattery, but if you truly believe that what you're doing is for the greatest and highest good of everybody, then seeing it um out there in other ways, other imprints of it is it's working. Even
Mhm.
if it's not exactly your method or in your, you feel it got ripped off. Good. It's good that it's out there and it's becoming part of the language. It might be something that people are researching a little bit more. So people in the field are more visible than before. And, let the people do the research to see who is the person they want to go to in that
Yeah,
respect.
and if you start changing things up and doing different things just in the name of trying to be different from the person who's allegedly copying you, then you're actually the one who's not being authentic.
Yeah.
Of course, you
Yeah.
can change things up when when you genuinely want to explore things, but if you're doing it like to spite somebody else or whatever, like you start getting into this gamey aspect of it, teaching people lessons or just whatever, like
Yeah. Yeah. I
that
mean,
energy is going to be put into whatever you're doing and you're actually going to repel people
yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
attracting them to you.
Yeah. I agree
You
with you.
you end
It
up
makes
looking like two political parties just going after each other instead of governing kind of thing.
Well, it
you
goes
know?
back to, like, people that are too similar repel each other. We're more comfortable when there's an opposite, um, like-minded, I guess, okay. But, there is that case sometimes where I have people say, "I really wanna introduce you to so and so, but maybe you're gonna be too similar." I'm like, "Actually, I generally like to meet really everybody to give them the benefit of the doubt,"
Yeah.
but I've had
I mean,
people say that.
and what is too similar? Like that, I mean, that's
Yeah.
really only an issue if um I might upset some people with this, but if you have an insecurity.
Mhm. Right. Yeah, exactly. Um, so I did like a little bit just of trying to figure out what that energy is so we could look into it a little bit more since it's been coming up. And I feel like maybe it's impacting everybody, all of our listeners on some level, whether it's their networking group and or whether it's or them themselves having some kind of experience with this. So I Googled, is it that people are replicating you or your energy or your content, or is it a multiplication? I mean, I didn't realize, and being in the nursing medical field, you probably would have picked up on it faster. But it took me right to DNA and viruses
Mm.
as a topic. So to like give you an idea of perhaps the positive or the negative. So I think what we were talking about in the positives is that there's a multiplication. So like multiplication of intention out there is very positive for what your work is. Um, to actually
And
make an
what
impact.
do viruses and DNA also do? They adapt and change and mutate and
Yeah.
so uh, it's the same but different. It's not cloning, right?
Right. Right. Ooh, yeah. Clone's another good word for consideration. Yeah. I mean,
And
two
with
doppelgangers can
nothing
exist.
original, I mean, did you not learn your craft in some way from others who had
Right.
come before you and done it and then put
Right.
your own spin on it? I mean, just about any space or industry,
Hmm.
you are not the originator. I don't care who you are.
Right. Right.
So, you know, maybe there's a little uh I don't know, ego involvement there's in some cases as well.
Oh,
Like,
definitely. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I only like you. I don't even think it happened during the time of the podcast. I think it happened like a year in advance of starting the podcast where I had a similar situation that some of these clients and friends have experienced with having things copied and pasted type of thing. And in my situation, it was and it all ended up very favorably, nothing negative there. Um, I think it was like actually mine ended up in like a friend, not a friendship, but like a friendliness, having a
Mhm.
conversation, and it's just mutual interests and passions. And people, when they believe in what they want to do, sometimes their scrappiness makes them so scrappy that they're doing whatever they can to make things work. Um,
Mhm.
but I'm just gonna pull 2 cards really quickly to close it out the door. If this is something that is happening in the collective, do you think that we should refer to it as like, um, gosh, so see what the energy is around there being this like doppelganger in life and in business, or feeling copied, and then how to reframe that and move forward in a way that works for everybody. And it could look different for everyone. So whether this is you or a friend in your circle or networking group. So grace and beauty is the energy around that doppelganger or copying of someone else that people are
Mhm.
experiencing right now.
Mhm.
It's actually hexagram 22, mountain above and fire below.
Look at that number for the
22, right?
topic. Yeah.
Oh. And then how do we move forward is this. This also has been in everybody's I Ching readings. Creative power. How do you move from that is creative power, and that is a dragon symbol. So
Mm.
funny that came up when I was at the event this weekend and we were doing I Ching. So the creative power. We were talking about, what is that lady on Game of Thrones that directs the dragons?
Khaleesi.
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Khaleesi energy.
Daenerys. Daenerys
That's what
Targaryen.
I'm
Yeah, it's been a minute.
reframing. That's my version of the I Ching. So creative power is hexagram 1, which is one of the most auspicious. It is the most auspicious energy in the I Ching out of all the hexagrams. So talking about, ooh, all right, you'll remember this line, Emily. So the energy around this doppelganger or copying. Um, so it talks about, in the arts, grace arises out of adherence to form. The dancer becomes the choreography of the dance, and the musician giving life to a musical score. The painter becoming one with brush and canvas. In human affairs, grace is aligned with the mastery of aesthetic and cultural forms, honed by time and honored by tradition.
Mhm. Uh, yeah, I mean, I wanna hear what the creative power one is, but it's just I mean, the way I kinda take that is, like, to, um, accept the, perceived copying
Mhm.
or whatever with grace,
Exactly.
and just focus on, again, your own authenticity, your own creative power, and moving through those situations gracefully will just make you more powerful,
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
as opposed to resisting and challenging and really just dumping all this kind of negative energy towards it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm getting out of it too. So it says, possession of grace is like bearing the beautiful gift to a party. Um, So I think as we were saying earlier, when you are at a place of visibility in your whatever it is that you've created in your content, it's going to be very attractive, and people are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, wow! Like what an amazing gift to learn of this. Um, so it also cautions artistic flair should not be confused with true substance. So it can take one far. It can take one far in this world. So I think in terms of someone taking the creativity to take on something from someone else doesn't mean that there's actual substance behind it.
Right.
So
And would not hold up to scrutiny if that's the case.
mhm. So it says people with few material possessions may feel ashamed and lacking in grace when meeting someone of great wealth of whom they admire. Though a certain
Well,
amount of
yeah, like
apprehension
a
is
little bit
natural.
of
Yeah. Envy.
there's that little bit of insecurity kind of, possible element there. Like, oh, well, this person has more than me, or,
Mhm.
more clients, whatever.
Yeah, but yet there's that, like, I just really admire that person and they're just shining so brightly. And though a certain amount of apprehension is natural, sincerity of feeling is the most valuable gift between friends. In the end, it is a sincerity that brings success, not material riches.
Authenticity. Isn't that
Yeah,
a
I like the word
synonym for
sincerity.
sincerity?
Yeah, I like the word sincerity now. Just because I think it gets played out, and
'Cause
I yeah.
yeah. I think they're pretty
Um,
synonymous. I think you could,
mhm.
um,
Grace, brilliance, fame, and fortune, or simplicity, dignity, honor, and transcendence.
mhm.
Mm. If the former is your choice, look for a sign from the outside. If you have any doubts, look within, as it is likely that simplicity is the answer. The simpler choice may cause a slight feeling of regret at first, but in the end, it will bring true peace of mind and stable relationships with good people.
Mhm.
I think just not getting all spun out in the realization that perhaps you're being admired or copied or someone's curious about you. Um, but to maintain that grace, and it's simpler just to continue existing.
Mhm.
Petty self adornment does not produce success. It can be disastrous to confuse vanity with grace. Devoting too much attention to external appearances stifles the grace of movement and bearing, which are far more important.
Right, external appearances. People are gonna think that this person came up with this. Don't put your energy there. It does. It makes you look not graceful. It makes you appear jealous or,
Mhm.
negative or whatever. And that is repelling.
So, leaving it with creative power, which is my favorite. So this is a really good place to be in, and transmuting any of this energy, this grace and beauty into creative power is amazing and should feel really good. The air is ripe with imagination, inspiration, and energy. The flying dragon is an ancient symbol of dynamic, arousing force that bodes well for creative movement. If your goals are in alignment with the greater good, positive actions taken with good timing will meet with success.
There
This
you
is
go.
an excellent time to exercise leadership because you can be strong now. There you
So basically, don't worry about them. Do you.
go.
You can use that as okay, even if you feel like, all right, this person is kind of doing the same thing. Okay, use that as an opportunity to innovate and create,
Mhm. Yeah.
not to just change things just for the sake of changing things, but to innovate and create and keep putting your own spin on it. And that is power. Because then,
Yeah.
rather than infusing negative energy into the whole situation, you have infused positive and new and creative energy to elevate what you're already doing.
Mhm.
And that's the outcome you want at the end of the day.
Yeah. It's, I think a lot of this is seeing this play out. It's evidence that your dreams and your work is working to see it.
Hmm.
So it reinforces to believe in your dreams and persevere, and everything around you will flourish. call upon your creative power and let it work through you. There you go. So don't get distracted. Um, Maintain grace and beauty as you see these repetitions or people, I think really it's probably just people looking up or inspired, or it's a good indication that everything that you believe in with whatever it is that you're creating is taking hold. So,
Mhm.
that creative power will help you to evolve rather than wasting your energy in looking into why.
I believe that.
Yeah. So it's good. Yeah. All the all the people out there. I mean, I think it's good, like, in your field. I think it's really great to see a lot of people that are inspired. I think it's so funny that, like, I have past clients and some friends in my circles that have similar backgrounds as yours. Not the same, but I think it's interesting that, like, a lot of women have taken to strength training and bodybuilding and being really good about nutrition, in particular women in their, closer towards their middle ages. And um, I think that's good. I mean, that doesn't mean
It
that.
is amazing. And if you're really in this game to help people and to move the collective forward, you should be all for whatever method or person or personality gets more women into strength training.
Mhm.
Period, because all women, literally all women
Yeah.
need to do some form of strength training, resistance training, um, building and preserving skeletal muscle. Literally all women need to be steered in that direction. So the way I see it, the more the merrier, because
You see it
one
as like a
woman,
real
there's
crisis.
plenty of
Like,
women in the world.
yeah,
Yeah, it is.
a
It's
huge
literally,
crisis.
I mean, the metabolic dysfunction that we've developed as a country. This is the solution.
Mhm.
This is the solution. So if
Yeah.
one woman may respond better to a different person's style, cool. That's still getting that one woman towards the solution that maybe I couldn't have reached. So I think you can apply that to, a lot of different spaces.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I feel that a lot in my field as well too. I mean, I have a school, so it's
Mhm.
different. I want more people to have the information, and I recognize my masters and trainers and mentors and coaches and so on and so forth. It's not like I was just bubbled up on the planet with all this information. So I think, you know, in terms of even my fields in which I'm in, I think that's really like what the whole conscious collaboration is too. It's rather than isolating myself from other feng shui professionals, masters, and interior designers and energy workers. It's really been to my benefit to have more of those people in my circles.
To
Um,
intentionally
yeah.
multiply.
Intentionally, yeah, I mean, we have great to get those like-minded people together that, have a real desire to help people in a certain place. It's more, and plus it's more fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
more fun when you can have that. No one wants to. Um, I wouldn't want to do all this in a isolation
Right.
chamber. Yeah. So I like it. I hope this has resonated with some of you out there. And I'm really excited that our little closed and private Facebook group is growing. It's always nice to see somebody coming in. It's a real friendly group there. So if it's interesting to you and you want to join us, come find us in the Conscious
Collaboration Collective. Nailed
And
it.
yes, and we'll let you on in there, provided you're a real person. Um, go through all those questions that we have. And yeah, follow us on Instagram if you're interested in becoming a guest. And we know there's a few of you out there. And so thank you for sending in. Yeah, after Dr. Carlos's episode, we got quite a few people lined up to be some really cool guests. So we're going through all of our information. We love to brainstorm. So we'd love to hear your thoughts on any episode that brought you to us. And thank you for hitting that like button and wherever you found us, and sharing this with a friend, and making sure you're subscribed so you get the next notification when we come out.
Yes.
Yes. The end.
Yes. The end. All right. Thanks, people. People of the collective.
Yes.
We will
talk to you in
talk
5.
to y'all in 5.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank y'all so much for listening to our podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends so they can join our circle of collaboration on this journey. You can find us on Instagram at Conscious Collaboration Podcast, on Spotify, iTunes, and Audible, to name a few. Please join us next time for another deep dive into how you can live life in more alignment, mind, body, and business. Send us your questions and comments in our DMs or email us at consciouscollaborationpodcast@gmail.com. See you in 5 minutes.